Has anyone ever ran a 4:34 mile? Raise your hand. Okay, how about a marathon? Cool. Okay, so even though I know like this, based on your guys' responses, I don't need to ask who's done both. Because there's only one person in the history of the world who's ever done both simultaneously. That's Eliud Kipchoge. So having run cross country my whole life and followed running, it's amazing to me how all of us are part of this historical event, have witnessed in our life this historical event of Eliud Kipchoge running a marathon in under 2 hours. Yeah, so like think back to something that something in history that you wish you could have been alive for, be it like I don't know the 19. Okay, we're gonna skip that. Anyhow, so with a little bit of background of the history of marathon running and who Eliud Kipchoge is, and the details of what happened October 12th, and some discussion of the importance of the race, I hope you're all able to appreciate the historical significance of this event. So to begin to understand, in an article published in 2007 by Sports Medicine, the author Amby Burfoot gives a historical background to marathon running. So starting, well, not even on this timeline, marathon distance wasn't standardized until the 1920s, and that was because it was introduced to the Olympics. And then until the 50s, marathon running wasn't popularized. So, wasn't popular, most people didn't run it. And so in that time, the record marathon time was 2 hours, 20 minutes, about. And then in this 10-year gap, the record was dropped to 2:09. And then in the next 70 years, up until now, the time was only recently dropped to 2 hours. Okay. So you can see how the difference in the drop or the decrease in marathon times in this expense. So now that we kind of have a background of the history of marathons, let's go into who Eliud Kipchoge is. He's a 35-year-old Kenyan marathon runner. He started his running career internationally with the Youth Cross Country Championship. In 2003, he won at a distance of 5 kilometers, which is about 3.1 miles. In this race, he ran against notable runners like Hicham El Guerrero, who currently holds the mile record time. And this was like his first event internationally, and he won right off the bat. And then he stayed in the 5K event until around 2013, and he had won bronze and silver in the Olympics in 2004 and 2008. So his running career was notable until 2013, when he first started running marathons. He won his first marathon ever, or the first marathon that he ever ran, he won. And in his 13 marathon career, he's only ever not gotten first once. So in this time of Eliud's career, at the same time, Nike is starting its Breaking 2 program, which is their way of trying to break the 2-hour marathon time. So they gather a group of runners, including Eliud, to try and break this time. They work on things like very specific scientific aspects, like the blood sugar of the runners as they run before and after, hydration specifics, to kind of narrow it down and make their running like the best environment they can, and then the rest is up to the runners. So in 2017, they attempt to break the 2-hour time in Monza, Italy. Eliud finishes at a time of 2 hours 25 seconds, and the time doesn't count for a world record anyways because it wasn't a certified actual race through the IAAF, which is like a running association. And then in 2018, Eliud runs in Berlin to break the world record with a time of 2 hours, 1 minute, and 39 seconds. And then from there, the project was sponsored by INUS, which is a British company that develops chemicals and plastics. So they're sponsoring him. He then breaks the record on October 12, 2019, but it doesn't count again because it's not a sponsored or certified run. Yeah. Okay. So what does this mean for the history of running? Some people view it negatively. They think it was just a publicity stunt for Nike and INEOS, so they can kind of take credit for the breaking of a 2-hour time, because when you see it, you know it's who it's sponsored by and that Nike developed the technology for it. And they think that it de-emphasizes the importance of it because it wasn't in a nationally recognized race. It was kind of set up perfect conditions. So they think that it doesn't really count. But according to many, including Kipchoge, they see it as a breaking of a barrier for the future of marathons, and it allows marathons to continue, because as you can see, marathons, no one was furthering their times. So they think with the 2-hour mark, people are going to be able to continue on going into the 1 hour range. Yeah, so with this information, I hope you're all able to appreciate the history that's being made around this, and that we're all kind of a part of it.
All right. Mary, how was that?
Okay, so I definitely should have timed it and stuff before I did it, because I kind of started to ramble, and I didn't get in the information I wanted to. Overall, it didn't go good.
Okay. All right. Audience, if you could please offer some feedback.
I think your topic was super interesting, and I was pretty engaged the whole time, and the timeline really helped too.
I like the way you gave us notes of what you were gonna go into next, the sections.
Yeah, I remember watching it live, and it was so exciting. So it was just really interesting to learn more about it, and it was really good.
I thought your intro and your conclusion were really strong.
I thought that even though you were nervous and we could see that in you, you were still really conversational with us. It wasn't an essay at all.
Okay. Mary, here's the thing. I could tell you were really passionate about this. This was something you were excited to share with us, and so you let that come through as you were talking about it. I thought you established your credibility really well. I thought your central idea was really clear. I thought your transitions were awesome. It was really easy to track where your speech was going at all points. So those are all really good things. I think we just need to do some polish on the delivery. Really, that's where what we can sort of focus our energies on a little bit more. Okay, and I think some of that was just maybe a little bit of nervousness, maybe just needing another 24, 48 hours to kind of smooth out some of that information. I got a little distracted at the beginning in your introduction when you started talking about breakthroughs, and then you went, okay, forget it. And then you kind of moved on. So things like that where you have an idea of what you want to say, just let that, have that smoothed out a little bit, okay, would be a suggestion. I would say have your visual aid prepared beforehand. So I thought the idea was really good. I might have just had it either on there or have a poster board. It doesn't have to be an overhead if you don't want to use overhead. I don't mandate that, but I would say have it done in advance so that you can incorporate that more effectively, and more importantly, you can practice with it before you're giving your speech. Careful, a little bit of things about delivery we got to work on. little bit of swaying back and forth, so sort of that nervous energy. I know. The funny thing is once you moved to the board and you did stuff, then the swaying then this kind of stopped for a while, right? And then you kind of went back to it after a while. So what that tells me is do some movement, do some gestures, right? Maybe you don't hold the note cards in your hands because those you kind of start to fumble with, right? And then it kind of restricts your ability to use bigger gestures. But really use those gestures so that you can you can let that nervous energy go somewhere. Okay? All right, thanks.